ain't getting paid with you. My color bright, I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey, yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game.
We play to win. Let's go. Here we are. Whip. Watch the whip. 25.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Check 52. Check 3.
A run for Nick Chubb. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now back to throw. Open man is Quinn, able to connect. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. So opening drive, 3rd down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
A very solid gain of 27.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. They're going to look to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Parker the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Pearson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here in this first series. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Chubb running right. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down.
Let's go, Heavy. Let me know what you got. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something. Give me something. What we got?
They'll drop the throw. Touchdown, Packers. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point attempt here still to come. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now. He took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line.
First down, Packers.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. 6-0 our score after one. A give running right is Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Throw caught here by Bird. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards. First down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run with Elliott. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott going for the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
47. 56. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
Mike's 56.
Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Why ain't he?
56 to Mike, boys. 26.
Prescott from the gun. There's this out for Matthews. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his target. That's more. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Packers. DJ Moore, 79 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. Prescott now. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
56 to Mike. 56 is the Mike.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
Mike 56. Mike 56.
A first down carry by Elliott. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here we go, 46. Under. You got to be ready. Don't be scared of it. 46 to Mike, 46. Here we go, kill. Mike, 46.
From the 44, Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 58 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll look to throw. He's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
You can't stop me.
But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. They run, Chubb. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They set up the screen to Chubb, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And his kick is indeed good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
56. Come to my world. 47. We want it. Come to my world. 56 to Mike. Bravo. 56 to Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Mike 56. Mike 56. 26.
Now Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He's going to look deep down the field. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And it's fielded at the 34. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wild card matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wild card bout. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They go to Elliott again. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They run again on first down. Chubb able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
I'm on.
2nd and 6. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Following the interception, here's Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Kill. 56, Mike, 56. Let him know. 56.
Here's Prescott. He sets to fire deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 68 yards as they are able to cut into that lead. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
They go for just one here as it's up and good. And that trims the lead down to 9. So the lead is now dwindled to 9 as the kick here is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
you have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. 23 yards to pick up there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll look to throw now on first down. Got a man, that's Quinn. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
They'll set up to throw. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's first and 10 at the 25-yard line. They'll look to throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. Second and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Big stop. Let's go.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
Well, he's been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Here's Prescott. He gets it to Matthews, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 26 and a first down. They'll run on first down. Elliott. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Here we go.
Again, it's Elliott. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7.
47. Done. 56. Check, 56. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. 56. Mike, 56.
Now Prescott. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 44-yard line. 10th carry now for Elliott. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. From the 36, Prescott. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 9-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Push him back. Anyway, push him back. Kill.
They run it again with Chubb. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
back to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
On now is the Packers punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. On the return, it's White. A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. They'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Mike, 53. 50.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Cowboys on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Under. He's mine. 56, the mark, boy. 56. Check 56. 26.
The Cowboys will go. Prescott. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Prescott now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 26.
To throw is Prescott. He'll take a shot for the end zone. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, 49 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the 4th. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken short. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Here's Elliott looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's what I'm talking about. 2nd and 10 at the Packers' 17-yard line.
Check 53. They can't hang with us.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. And now running right through it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
He's checking. Crash.
They'll run it with Elliott, and he's in for the touchdown, and barring a miracle, the extra point can win this football game.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point that's pretty crucial.
That's right, just one more element to complete the victory. A very important extra point there, up and good, and that might be enough to win them the football game as they now take the lead in the final seconds. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with time of factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one. Whether you're able to get into field goal range range, or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.